It's silly. All right, Dom, let's jump into this tribe in Brazil is suing a lot of different people because they just got the internet because of Elon Musk. So here we go.
Reporting on the arrival of high-speed Starlink internet in remote indigenous villages in the Amazon rainforest. Myself and our photographer, Victor Moriyama, we ended up hiking in total about 50 miles in order to reach villages of the Marubo people, which are an indigenous tribe that has lived for hundreds of years, if not longer, in one of the most isolated stretches of the Amazon rainforest. One of the striking things for me was to see this contrast between this old traditional way of life that the Marubos have had for many, many, many years and this very new way of life that looks far more familiar to me, frankly. And that meant, seeing people hunched over on their phones, typing away, sending voice notes, watching, video clips. I saw two very young boys just, swiping through video after video of Neymar Jr. The Marubo are not a fully isolated tribe. Many of the Marubo actually already had smartphones, and then they were using them to communicate when they were in the city or to take photos in the forest. The Starlink antennas, they satellite internet service from SpaceX, the private space company owned by Elon Musk, arrived in the Marubo villages in September 2023. Right away, the internet was a huge hit and people were on it all the time, so much that it became a problem for the hunting and the farming that are necessary for their way of life. And so what the Marubo leaders did is nowadays in almost all of the villages, the internet is only on for several hours in the morning and several hours in the evening and then all day Sunday. The Marubo people saw all of the many benefits that the internet brought for them. And that included the ability to call for help in a medical emergency, the ability to communicate between different villages, inform themselves better about what's going on in the world. But at the same time, I saw the Marubo people dealing with misinformation and scams, to pornography, to addictive social networks, to violent video games. The big difference here is that most of the world has had literally decades to kind of grapple with and debate what the internet means for society. And the Marubo people are dealing with all of this all at once. Leaders in the tribe also said that the more and more they're seeing the young people be on the internet, the more and more interest naturally there is about the outside world and more interest about leaving the forest. And that is worrisome for the kind of elders in the tribe who are worried about the death of the culture and the traditions and the customs of the Marubo people in these remote villages.
All right, Dom, what you got?
So I definitely understand the concern, because absolutely, like, it is one of those things where you think about it from the perspective of how somebody is slowly, as people start to age and all that stuff, and seeing what the other world looks like. Now, I remember there's like a season of 90 Day Fiance, and somebody is dating somebody in like one of these villages that takes like 2 days to get to them. Yeah. And but I think the issue is now this tribe is suing.
They're suing the New York Times from this actual article.
Yeah, the New York Times, because of the following. It says the Marubo tribe in Brazil is suing the New York Times, TMZ, and Yahoo for about $180 million, claiming defamatory reporting, falsely portraying them as becoming addicted to adult content after gaining internet access through Elon Musk's Starlink system. The tribe argues the reports damaged their reputation, misrepresented their culture, and harmed ongoing educational and health projects. Although the New York Times later published a clarification, the tribe says the damage was already done. Now, what you bet? How now? This sounds.
You know who did it? Was another lawyer that was like, "Hey," and emailed them. Because they just got internet.
They just got the internet now. It's like somebody that told him, like, "Hey, y'all know this is out here about y'all."
Not even just that, you know how much money y'all can make. Y'all want to get up out of here? Don't y'all want to experience some of the stuff y'all watching on your thing? Let's sue them and get money, and y'all can leave here. You can go see Neymar Jr. in person.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, so they can see Neymar in person. Yeah. But it's just unfortunate because, like, I think it's always the beauty in having people that are so we see how the internet has been a beautiful thing, but it's also has been like so corrupt in ways that are unimaginable to a tribe like this, because it's so fresh to them. It's like that new baby that's like wants to get into everything, and you gotta put the damn childproof, you know, everything just because of that.
One of the things.
And like they immediately went to like the misinformation, them having access to porn. Now y'all are wondering if, you know, what will happen next to your tribe.
But my thing is like, how did you even know you could get to porn though?
That's what I'm saying. But like they said, misinformation. So y'all only have it accessible. Like, I mean, I know they're not jacking off in public or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just this weird thing. And you think about it from the perspective of, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm thinking of, like they said, like people wanting to leave and then abandoning this space, this land. And then, you know, we understand how important land is to so many people. And we've talked about different things that have harmed the Amazon already, like different fires and how they've tried to come through and destroy, you know, like the Amazon in so many different ways. And I'm thinking about it from the perspective of, you know, AI advancing so rapidly and them needing more space to have these generator stations and all this stuff to be able to handle AI, and then so much water. So I'm thinking about it from that, like them trying to lure these people out into other parts of Brazil, and you know, where there is some sort of life. So this land no longer exists, by, you know, is held by those people.
Yeah, this is the
internet.
I'm
definitely gonna follow this, because like we know how defamation and libel cases is just kind of so difficult to prove in court.
I mean, this is worse than, I would say worse. This is a very good case study for how bad the internet can corrupt you overall. Because think about like even how people that get out of jail even have a hard time adapting to a smartphone, and they at least have no understand the concept of technology, period, on a just general basis. Even if they did 20, 30 years, they understand technology on a general. This group of people don't even have this technology in general.
Yeah, and like they said, they had smartphones.
Yeah.
Where they would go into town, you know, like the city and stuff, and you know, and they would probably only go to the city to re-up on like supplies or things like that. Which makes sense how somebody had a profile and was dating somebody like on 90 Day Fiance, like, you know, in America. So it makes sense. But like you said, I'm interested in seeing how this will play out, just because like people were shocked, you know, when we talked about what happened with Cardi. You know, her winning that case against Tasha K, because it's just kind of unheard of. Because people tend to kind of settle or just throw it out because it starts to cost too much, because trying to prove malice, which I guess Tasha K was like, in a sense, was malicious. They was able to prove it.
Yeah.
And and it's crazy how she was standing 10 toes down and all she had to do was apologize.
It was an easy
retract that statement. But like I said, y'all love to live and die by the street code, and you not backpedaling. And I'm like, we know that lady didn't help you, ain't giving you enough money to cover that.
Oh, we know that's not. Come on, man. Yeah, that's that's neither here nor there, as they say.
Yeah.
All right, our last story tonight. All right, this one is.
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time.